Hello, my name is Mugabi. I welcome you to Biology Lights. And in this session, we are going to talk about human impact on the environment. List 3 human activities which could cause the loss of a species. 1. Hunting of individual species. 2. Overexploitation of stocks, that is, overfishing. 3. Destruction of habitat, deforestation, agriculture, urbanization. Define the term pesticide. A pesticide is a compound which destroys or controls any organism which is considered to be harmful to our interests. Define the term insecticide. An insecticide destroys or controls populations of insects, preferably only those thought to be harmful. Define the term herbicide. A herbicide kills or controls plants which humans want to get rid of. For example, weeds. What is the special property of a persistent insecticide? A persistent insecticide is chemically stable. That is, it takes a long time to break down. In what ways is persistence a useful property? This property is useful because the substance will continue to kill insects long after it has been applied. In what ways is persistence a harmful property? Persistence is harmful because the insecticide lasts long enough to pass up a food chain and become concentrated in the bodies of secondary or tertiary consumers. Put the following events in the most probable order. A. Predatory birds poisoned by insecticide. B. Trees sprayed with insecticide. C. Earthworms eat leaves which fall from trees. D. Predatory birds eat small birds. E. Beetles damage trees by spreading a virus. F. Insecticide absorbed by tree leaves. G. Small birds eat earthworms. E. Beetles damage trees by spreading a virus. B. Trees sprayed with insecticide. F. Insecticide absorbed by tree leaves. C. Earthworms eat leaves which fall from trees. D. Small birds eat earthworms. D. Predatory birds eat small birds. A. Predatory birds poisoned by insecticide. Put the following events in the most probable order. A. Dead algae decomposed by bacteria. B. Excess nitrate and phosphate discharged into river. C. Fish die of suffocation. D. Bacteria use up oxygen. E. Aquatic algae die. F. Water depleted of oxygen. G. Aquatic algae grown rapidly. B. Excess nitrate and phosphate discharged into river. D. Aquatic algae grow rapidly. E. Aquatic algae die. A. Dead algae decomposed by bacteria. D. Bacteria use up oxygen. F. Water depleted of oxygen. C. Fish die of suffocation. What are the principal sources of excessive nitrate and phosphate in rivers and lakes? Excessive nitrates and phosphates come mainly from sewage, effluents, and intensive agriculture. List the short-term and long-term effects of forest destruction on hillsides. Deforestation on hillside exposes the soil to erosion by rains and leads to silting of rivers and lakes. Floods may be caused by 1. The rapid runoff from deforested slopes. 2. The silting up of rivers and lakes by eroded topsoil. List the short-term and long-term effects of forest destruction in the tropics. Deforestation leads to soil erosion. If followed by agriculture, it causes impoverishment of the soil. There may also be local climatic changes and a global increase in atmospheric carbon dioxide. Biodiversity is reduced. In what ways does overgrazing lead to soil erosion? Overgrazing leads to erosion because 1. The animals remove all the vegetation, so exposing the soil to heavy rains. 2. Their hooves compact the soil so that rainwater runs off the surface, carrying the soil with it. Which of the following are likely to help conserve soil and prevent erosion? A. Plowing slopes. B. Planting trees on steep slopes. C. Using chemical fertilizers. D. Terracing hillsides. E. Using organic manure. F. Removing trees from hillsides. G. Growing the same crop each year. H. Keeping as many animals as possible on grassland. Soil conservation is helped by B. Planting trees on steep slopes. D. Terracing hillsides. E. Using organic manure. The other activities are likely to lead to soil erosion. What are the two main pollutants that contribute to acid rain? The main pollutants in acid rain are sulfur dioxide and oxides of nitrogen. Ozone may also be a pollutant. Where do these pollutants come from? Sulfur dioxide and oxides of nitrogen come mainly from burning coal in power stations. Oxides of nitrogen come from burning petrol and diesel in cars and lorries. What direct or indirect effect is acid rain thought to have on lakes? Acid rains lead to acidification of lakes, which kills all the living organisms. What direct or indirect effect is acid rain thought to have on forests? Acid rains directly or indirectly leads to the premature death of trees and the destruction of forests. What direct or indirect effect is acid rain thought to have on buildings? Acid rain leads to the erosion of buildings and other structures containing limestone, marble, mortar, etc. Which of the following are important greenhouse gases? Oxygen, water vapor, carbon dioxide, nitrogen oxides, ozone, methane, nitrogen. Important greenhouse gases are water vapor, carbon dioxide, nitrogen oxides, and methane. Which part of the carbon cycle is responsible for increasing concentration of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere? The burning of fossilized products, that is coal and oil, of some plants is the cause of increasing carbon dioxide in the atmosphere. Explain briefly why greenhouse gases lead to global warming. The greenhouse gases absorb the long-wave radiation reflected from the Earth's surface. This reduces the escape of heat from the Earth. By how much do we need to cut carbon dioxide emission in order to halt global warming? 5%, 20%, 60%, 90%. We need to cut carbon dioxide emission by about 60% to halt, but not reverse, global warming. In what way do chlorofluorocarbons, CFCs, cause global warming? Chlorofluorocarbons react with and deplete the ozone in the ozone layer. This allows more ultraviolet light from the sun to reach the earth, with harmful effects on living organisms. For example, skin cancer in humans. What do you understand by the term monoculture? Monoculture is the term applied to the growing of the same agricultural crop year after year on the same land. What is the one disadvantage of a monoculture? Because the crop consists of one species of plant in close proximity, any pest or disease will spread easily and rapidly to the whole crop. Which of the following are not covered by the 1956 and 1968 Clean Air Acts? A. Sulfur dioxide emission from power stations. B. Smoke emission from factories. C. Particulate emission from vehicles. D. Emission of chlorofluorocarbons from aerosol sprays. A, C, and D are not covered by the Clean Air Act of 1956 and 1968. State two ways in which sulfur dioxide emissions from coal-fired generating stations could be reduced. Sulfur dioxide emission can be reduced by fitting desulfurization plants or by changing to a cleaner form of coal with less sulfur in it. Which of the following gases listed below can be reduced in vehicle exhaust by A, a catalytic converter, B, a lean burn engine, carbon dioxide, carbon monoxide, unburned petrol, nitrogen oxide, water vapor, oxygen? A. A catalytic converter reduces emission of nitrogen oxides, carbon monoxide, and unburned petrol. B. A lean burn engine reduces the nitrogen oxide emissions. Hello friends, thank you very much for participating in Biology Lights. I encourage you to subscribe.